This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 13, and verse 31. That one shall undertake to fight against another, one city against another, one place against another, one people against another, and one realm against another. 2nd Ezra, chapter 13, verse 31. Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Kodash. Double honors to our venerable apostles and elders at Great Millstone who rule well, and peace and blessings to the Lord's elect, the house of David. All right, it's the brother Haran coming back at you with another lesson, Lord willing to be edifying and uplifting unto the elect. All right, and I'm actually still at work, but Spirit just kind of showed me a little something, so I said, let me just take a minute, get in the car, and just let it rip. All right, now, as I'm at work, since a couple of days ago, actually, I was talking to my brother, and I kept saying, hey, Friday the 13th, man, is coming up. You know how these devils move. Friday the 13th, right? So, we just like, hey, Khan, hey, we just kind of whatever. But as I'm at work today, and it's something I kept telling my brother, it's like over the week, I kept bringing it up, hey, Friday the 13th, that kind of thing. So today, today's Thursday, so tomorrow is going to be Friday the 13th. I plan on going to work. Everybody's like, everyone is chilling. So far at work, nobody is even alerted. Nobody's alarmed. Everybody's just going about their daily life. I said, that's beautiful. So I got an email from one of my clients stating that, hey, tomorrow there's supposed to be a day of rage. A day of rage. And that, we're going to need to be on high alert and all kinds of different shit, but it's going to be a day of rage, so everyone got to be on notice. I said, oh, shit, day of rage. Huh, on Friday the 13th? Oh, okay, interesting. So I picked up my phone. I said, hey, let me just go check online and see if there's any articles on this, because the way he said it sounds like something that, maybe is kind of mainstream, because he said it casually, like, hey, there's a day of rage, like everybody's supposed to know about that. I ain't heard nothing from nobody about concerning any day of rage, so that's a surprise to me. Now, am I going to say that's just a surprise I ain't trying to hear? No, that's a good surprise. That's a very good surprise. A day of rage. Let's see, right? So I go into my car and I'm looking at the days. I'm like, oh, tomorrow's going to be the 13th, and then in 2.5 weeks, it's going to be the 31st, which is so-called Halloween, right? Now, as I was doing all that, I see an article, right? And it says, this is the title of the article. It says, notorious cartel hitmen in creepy Halloween masks announced, quote, purge in chilling video. Yo, I said, wait, whoa, talk about this. This is getting a little too crazy. So I go online, try to look up some more of this article. Like, okay, what is this all about? Just to substantiate it, to see if there's multiple articles on the same thing. And then I run into another one that says, report, Hamas calls for global jihad, invasion of Israel, attack Jays worldwide on October 13th, which is Friday the 13th. Again, tomorrow. I said, wait a minute. There's way too many things lining up for this shit. All right. I said, hold on. Normally when this happens, sometimes nothing comes out of it. But for the most part, whenever they announce it like this, and they, you get emails and shit, like, it's at the point where it's like, okay, we're taking this serious, to the point where it could possibly happen. But again, it's Friday. And these devils like to, do things on a Friday, and then you have it, work out through the weekend. And then Monday comes and it's all hell breaking loose because the systems are down. It's all hell breaking loose. That they normally have that shit, So I'm like, Friday. Okay, let's see. Let's see. So, the precept that I brought out is 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter. All right, verse 31. Okay, so that's again 13 for Friday the 13th, and then 31 is October 31, which is so-called Halloween. Okay, so the next couple of weeks, they setting up the stage for a very, very interesting end of the year. Okay, because now we're starting to see the vibration of some type of clash. The whole Israel-Hamas situation that's going on there is, like I said in my previous video, is that vortex that's going to draw everyone in. As according to prophecy, he says the least of the flock shall what? Shall draw them out. Okay, so now you get all these other nations, all these other countries are getting involved. Syria, all right, it's going to blow over into Syria because Syria is one of their targets in the first place. Okay, and I believe that whole Israel thing that happened last Friday, all right, that was an inside thing. Personally, that's what I believe. All right, because I remember when it happened, Saturday morning, I'm getting news. I'm like, wait a minute, this is happening way too fast. You know, Netanyahu coming out talking about, oh, we're gonna come after them. You know, it's gonna be bloody. We're gonna kill them. We're gonna destroy. I'm like, yo, wait. This just happened last night. You mean to tell me you already know who did it, how did it, when they did it? You know, you're not even gonna think about it. It's just like straight up, we're gonna kill them. We already have arsenal ready to go. Like, damn, already? Okay, that's interesting. You know, and then all the information was just coming out mad fast. I'm like, this is how you getting all this information so fast? You know, it's almost like they already have everything set in stone, ready to go, and they just following through with it now. It's not, you know, the shit didn't even marinate. It just hit, boom, and then all hell's breaking loose. Oh, wait. Oh, hold on. You about to cause World War III just like that? Relax, buddy. You know? But we know, all right, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemel Shai, that World War III is not going to go nuclear, all right, until that MOTB is fully instituted. And that's going to happen right in the midst of the chaos that's about to ensue very soon. Okay? These devils are moving, and they're moving fast, man. It's going to be bloody very soon. All right, so let's get into this real quick. All right, going into the article, the first article, it says, once it loads up, all right, so it says here, notorious cartel hitman in creepy Halloween mask announced purge in chilling video. Right, and I believe the Purge series, they have one that's Purge Halloween or Halloween Purge or something like that. Let me see. Let me look it up real quick. Purge Halloween, I think. All right, I wouldn't be, I wouldn't be shocked. Halloween year or some shit. Hold on. Let me see. I know those are Purge. Purge Halloween movie. Yeah, Purge Halloween. I think that's what it was called. Yeah, it was the Purge that was centered on Halloween. Okay, which is Sabbath. Okay, Hallows Eve, which is Sabbath. All right, when you go into it. All right, and they this year they're already putting it out there. They already got Marina Abramovich, all right, so-called being the ambassador in Ukraine. So we don't know, man. They turned up the CERN shit last year, so-called. Okay, I think it was July 5th or some shit. We forget that. We on to you bitches. Anyway, let's read. It says, hitmen from one of Mexico's most notorious drug cartels, right? And Mexico is right down the border. All those people that was flocking and coming into the States. Oh, let's not forget. I think, what's his name? McCarthy, the former Speaker of the House. Okay, I think he got removed last week or so. He was saying that all these people that came over the border, there's a lot of threats and potential shit to go down on the 13th, which is tomorrow. Again, so that's 3. I saw that earlier this week as well. That's when I started looking into it. Like, there's a lot of it's Friday the 13th shit. They kind of like put a lot of alarms out there. What's going on? You see, and nobody's paying attention. You see, and that's the key right there. It's always when no one is paying attention. When everyone's attention is on it, they tend to not do anything because they know everyone's going to be like, oh, see, they're right. Conspiracy theories are right. See, and sometimes all psyops anyway, psychological operations. All right, but it says here, these drug cartels have announced a quote purge in a chilling video that has emerged online. Members of and this is also going to serve another purpose in them trying to demonize anything on the internet. They could call it, this we would deem this an act of hate, or we deem this an act of terror, or whatever. They could just shut your shit down. Okay, so these things all enhance in what they're trying to do anyway. All right, that's why they allow this type of stuff on the internet. But yet, when you speak the truth about these J's, they strike your channel down. Okay, but it's all coming to a boiling point, just as the scriptures have said that in the last days there's going to be what? There's going to be riots. There's going to be protests. There's going to be sedition among men. There's going to be people having weapons and beating up on other people. Okay, and this is the beginning of that. All right, this is the real life version of what the scriptures are saying. Okay, not just the prophecies that you read on a piece of paper, but when they actually come into real life, this is how it plays out. You get the warning from the prophets, and then the warning that you have warned about happens in real life, and then you're affected by it because everyone is subject to prophecy. And that at that point is between the Heavenly Father and you. Are you part of His righteous, or are you part of the wicked? If you're part of the righteous, you're going to be delivered out of all the troubles that you're going to face. Now, if you're not, well then, you have to go reach out to Grandma Kamar, a nigga whose grandma is Kamar. So he coming up to, hey, listen, Grandma Kamar. All right, so let's keep going. Let's keep going. It says members of the Jalisco New Generation Cartel, which is abbreviated as CJNG, considered to be the country's most dangerous drug trafficking organization, wear creepy Halloween masks and military-style uniforms in a bizarre footage. They're also armed to the teeth, meaning completely armed, pointing high-caliber weapons to the sky as they face the camera. In the video shared on X, formerly known as Twitter, one hitman addresses residents of Teotihuacan, a city in the state of Mexico, and people in the surrounding areas. He announces the CJNG has arrived. Quote, arrived, right? There before listing off all the towns they will be visiting on their quote-unquote purge. Right? He says this message goes out to the residents within the valleys of Teotihuacan, and all of its surroundings. We've arrived, you sons of bees, right? You sons of bitches. Okay? That's what they're saying. That's the kind of mindset they're coming in with. We've arrived. You son of a bitches. Okay? So it's about to be a wrap. They got the video here. I'm not gonna click it, but I might be able to link it in the description, so you could watch the video and also gain access to the article itself as well. Okay, and then they go through all the cities that they're gonna be visiting: San Luis, Santa Maria, Purificación, San Sebastian. I'm just saying the ones I could say. San Marco, okay, San Antonio. All right, yeah, San Antonio. That's where we're at. That's San Antonio. I believe there's one in Mexico, and there might be one in there's obviously the one in Texas. All right. I'm not sure if they're talking about the same one, but to my knowledge, I believe there's another San Antonio in Mexico itself. All right, it says, we've arrived to purge these areas, you sons of bees. We are the absolute mob of Mr. Menco, whoever that is. The hitmen are then heard shouting that final sentence again in unison. The CJNG is headed by Nemesio Ruben Osegura Cervantes, more commonly referred to by his alias El Mencho. It says the gang's propensity for extreme violence has landed El Mencho at the top of both America and Mexico's most wanted lists, with U.S. authorities offering $10 million for information leading to his capture. Daily Star reports. Oh, so he's a wanted man by the United States, huh? So who's to say they could be working their way up? They already got the border wide open, right? So who knows? San Antonio was mentioned in there. All right, who knows? Okay, but again, it's the vibration that this whole thing is carrying. Okay, it's the vibration that this whole thing is carrying, because let's read this real quick. Let's just glance over it real quick. It says, a leader and founding member of Hamas, Khalid Mashal, reportedly called for a global jihad on Tuesday, asking Muslims around the world to target the people of Israel on Friday, October 13th. Okay? And they're already saying, I believe, in Times Square, which is New York City, and many different major cities in the States, that, and I said this, I remember saying this, I said, it's not a smart thing, okay, that Biden, the president of America, will come out and endorse what Israel is doing and denounce what was happening with the so-called Iranians, because what you're doing there is you're clearly separating the room. Okay, you still got people from Muslim faith who this is what they're talking to them about, right? And they're here in America. You got the young men and all, they're all here in America, and they work in all these stores and all these different places like we do. And with the tension as high as it is now amongst regular people, how much more this so-called holy war, something that they've been fighting over for years, prior to the Crusades. Okay, when you look at the history of what happened from the Roman Empire down, from the pagan Roman Empire to so-called Holy Roman Empire, all the way down, okay, the time of Constantine, all the way through where Istanbul became, well, Constantinople became what was then became Istanbul, all right, Turkey. You've always had that conflict. And then now you fast forward from that time all the way to 1948 with the whole Palestine being divided, all that stuff that happened. You've always had that conflict between the Muslim world, the Arab world, and the political so-called Zionists. Okay, and that's again is the literal precipice, okay, of World War III. Because when you read what was written by Albert Pike, and I brought it out in my couple of videos ago, Albert Pike said it, that the Third World War is going to commence with the conflict between the Muslim Arab world and the Jays, the political Zionists. Okay, and it's going to be a bloody turmoil, what they call. Meanwhile, their agents, their agenters is what they call them. They're going to be in the midst, setting things up and doing all these things in the background. Okay, so this is the times that we're in. All right, all this stuff is all you're gonna be seeing from here on out is inside jobs, false flags, agent provocateurs, all kinds of different shit just to stir up the pot, to engage the people. Okay, it's a vortex. They're messing with your emotions, and they're messing with what? Your money, your finance, because it's all gonna affect the economies. This shit right here is about to affect the economies major. Okay, it's also a test to see where people stand on this whole topic of this Israel thing. Okay, this Israel thing is the key, because we're in the last days. Okay, so it says video of Mashal's reported call to violence was posted on YouTube and remains up on the platform as of Wednesday at 10 a.m. Well, today's Thursday. Okay, when was this thing put out? It was put out yesterday, the 11th. Today's the 12th. Okay, so so as of that day, which was yesterday, this video was still up. It was still up, where he's coming out and making a direct threat, see, towards a specific people that you can't speak about, you can't speak against, right? You lose your dealerships and your sponsorships and your money and your job and your career if you speak about these people. Jonathan Greenblatt and his folks, right? We remember you. You ain't going nowhere. You ain't going to run from the heat, all right? You see? But all these different things, the ADL and all this, all right? Now we want to see how they're going to play this thing out, because America is already saying that they stand with Israel. So let's see. Let's see. It says, according to a translation and analysis of the video by author Rashid Hamami, Mashal refers to his proposed day of anger, another day of rage, right, as the, quote, the Friday of Al-Aqsa flood, end quote, which will send a message of rage to Zionists and to America. Right? Let's see. Maybe we can get a quick precept here. All right? Let's get a quick precept here. Let's get this in the book of Isaiah. See if I can pull that up real fast. All right, Isaiah 19. All right, there's the times that we're entering into. It's beautiful times because people were warned about these days. Okay, Isaiah chapter 19 and verse, I'll start off at 1. It says, the burden of Egypt. All right, and this is the burden of Egypt. Obviously, he's not talking about Mitzrayim. It's talking about Egypt as a spiritual Egypt, America. Okay, as is written in Revelation, I believe the 11th chapter, the 8th verse, it talks about what? The place known as spiritual Sodom and Egypt. Okay, so America is that place known as spiritual Sodom and Egypt because it symbolizes everything that caused the Lord to destroy ancient Sodom and Gomorrah. Okay, and it also signifies the place in which the children of Israel, the actual Israelites, okay, not the Israelis, the Israelites, okay, the 12 tribes of Israel will be scattered and in the last days will be brought in bondage, okay, to serve in captivity just like we did back in ancient Egypt. Okay, so the Lord is saying through the prophet Isaiah that the burden of Egypt, behold, the Lord Yahweh rideth upon a swift cloud and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. Verse 2. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians. Okay, so Americans against Americans for whatever reason. Nowadays you have so many different reasons to have a fight rather than to conflict resolute. Okay, people, you not only are we talking about gender differences or religious differences or nationality or color or belief systems, but also feelings. Right, thoughts and feelings. Now, if you don't agree with how I feel, then we're at loggerheads. We don't talk. We mad at each other, and so on and so forth. So that's also something to look into. Right. Another reason why they got this whole gender thing. People who say they're pro Democrats, pro Republican, conservative, liberal. All right, things are building up, and on top of that, to make matters even better or for worse, all right, now you got this whole Israel thing being thrown in there, and it's not just are you for Israel or against Israel? It's more, are you for Israel or you're for the Muslim world? So that you got that conflict right there. But the Lord said he would set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. So just like it's written in 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter, and 31st verse, there's going to be war where there's going to be fights, okay? And ultimately it's going to be nation against nation, like the Lord said, kingdom against kingdom, realm against realm. That's where you're going to have the kingdom of the angels come from the Heavenly Father's kingdom down to this kingdom to make war against the people of this kingdom, the wicked of this kingdom, which is written of in 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter, also in Revelation, the 12th chapter. Okay, specifically the 7th verse, also in Daniel, the 12th chapter. Okay, this is where we see Archangel Michael coming down with the rest of the heavenly hosts. All right, the Lord said, what? Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down. Okay, I don't know how real this is, but last week, or I believe this weekend, I saw some videos of what appeared to be chariots, okay, flying over during this whole conflict out there in Israel. And they got these fighter jets chasing after them, and the chariots are just zooming. They're just gliding through the air, just zooming past, on their own thing, in a formation, and these people are flying their jets, chasing after them and shit. I don't know how real it is, but again, it's to show you that the angels are getting involved. Okay, they're working upon the minds of these kings. Okay, because prior you had these kings who the Lord hadn't put in their spirit of retaliation. So America is doing these things. You have tariffs, you got sanctions, all these different things. They ain't say nothing. They ain't do nothing. Now it's all of a sudden they retaliate. Now it's like they're coming out and vocalizing, all right, their disdain towards America and towards so-called Israel. All right, and these are the times that the scriptures talk about. When you start seeing these signs, understand that we're at the end of this thing. Okay. So going back to that article, and I'll also link it in the description as well. All right, because I'm not going to read through the whole thing, because there's a whole bunch of stuff that's out here, but you say it's going to probably flag your channel. All right, it says the most important thing, he asked all Muslims around the world to carry jihad, which is basically a so-called holy war. Okay, that's what jihad is. By their souls to fight and be martyrs for Al-Aqsa. Okay, he wants Muslims to fight against the Jays starting with Muslims who live in the countries surrounding Israel, Jordan, Syria, Lebanon, and Egypt. That's interesting. All these countries are also on their list of countries that need to be basically taken over. I believe this guy, General Wesley Clark, talked about that. Okay. I talked about Libya, Somalia, Lebanon, Syria, Jordan. I believe Jordan was part of it. Okay. Egypt. All right. Yeah. So let's keep going. It says, but also not just these countries, but also other countries. They said to go to the borders and try to enter. This is chaotic. This is chaotic right here. He's. This is sedition among men. He's inciting people to do these things. Okay. Let's see. Let's get this real quick in 2nd Ezra. All right. There shall be sedition among men. This is all part of it. 2nd Ezra 15. Okay. There's a book of 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and verse 16 specifically says, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. That's exactly what this guy is pushing. This Khalid Mashal guy. Okay? And Esau is nothing for Esau to group all this and paint over it like with a broad brush and say, hey, these people here, you're anti this because of that. You know, group everybody in there just to persecute. Okay? It says he wants all Muslims to go into these countries, force their way into it. Okay? It says to go into the borders and try to enter, each by his own means, Rakid explained. He said this is the time for jihad to be applied on the ground rather than just in theory. Oh Lord, here we go. Here we go. He asked the Mujahideen to go in long caravans to spill their blood on the land of Palestine. Oh goodness. Wow, sir. Whoa. And this is all still on YouTube? Hey, that's crazy. It says funds are important, but today we're asking for your blood and souls. What the fuck? Right? Straight up high level witchcraft and Satanism right there. And guess what? It's gonna work. Okay? Because the Lord has sanctioned it. It's gonna work. Alright, it's biblical prophecy. There's gonna be a lot of bloodshed. Okay, it's to be sacrificed for Palestine. Mashal concluded according to Rahid. And this is all what? A sacrifice because they got something else in the works. Whatever it is that they got in the works, they got something going on real satanic in the works. Okay? They've been saying there's been talks that, you know, they're trying to break down the dome, whatever, and then they could set up the so-called third temple. I'm like, man, these people, bro. These people, man. First you claim that there is no God and all this, but yet you're trying so hard to take over the land that he reserved for his own people. If there is no God, why are you so infatuated with the land of Israel? I'm talking about you Khazars out there. Huh? The truth is all coming out. Anyway, let's keep going. It says, the call for global jihad comes after Hamas terrorists attacked Israel, killing 1,200 people and wounding thousands more. The so-called terrorists also took the elderly. Now, you notice how they use these words, right? How come these people are considered terrorists but the others are not? Because ultimately, both sides, apparently, based on the news that's coming out, both sides are destroying and killing so-called civilians. Okay? You bombing up hospitals and shit like that. Your enemies are going to be in hospitals? To the point where this guy, Putin, came out and even condemned it. He said, look, man, you want to get into a war? I think Erdogan from Turkey also said something like that. Like, yo, you want to go ahead and, you know, go back and forth as men? You could do that. But leave out the women and children. Okay? You want to go and get at each other all day? Do it. Nobody's going to stop you. Right? But don't involve the other people. Right? It says that the terrorists, so-called, also took the elderly, women, and children as hostages. It is unclear how many people were taken. Yeah, because this is all made up bullshit. Okay, in my opinion, all right. Now this is alleged. In my opinion, this is all BS. It's all bullshit. It's all to carry a certain narrative because that's exactly what's going on. Again, cui bono, who stands to benefit? The moment they push a certain narrative, you know this is a BS flag FF. Okay, it's a double F. All right. Klaus Schwab did warn. He warned about looking out for black swan events. All right, so these are considered black swan events. I did a video on that. You know. So let's keep going. It says support for Hamas so-called terrorists was heard around the world, including Australia, where a crowd of mostly Muslim pro-Palestine protesters gathered near the Sydney Opera House in Australia Monday night, chanting, quote, "Wow, gas the Jays," end quote. Okay, so again, they managed to set up where now they'll be able to tell who's against who, and then they're gonna make their move because all this, in the midst of all this, remember they're still tracking, they're watching who's communicating and what they're doing. What videos are people watching? What kind of comments are they leaving? What kind of sentiments are people sharing there? You know? And then they're going to come after everyone. They said, last time I checked, it was 90% of Americans are on the domestic terrorist list. And they don't even know it. You wonder what could get you on a domestic terrorist list? Yeah, your political views alone could get you on that. Okay? If you're not a Democrat, that can get you on that. So there you go. Okay, if you believe in MAGA, what they call MAGA, something else also made up. Okay, MAGA right wing MAGA protest, like what the fuck? You know, it's all just to incite people. Just to incite people. It's all propaganda. Okay, it only works when you fall for it. This is according to the Daily Mail. Local police allowed Monday night's pro-Palestinian protesters outside of the Sydney Opera House to chant violence against the Jays and burn the Star of David. However, I'm gonna end this in a few. The local police arrested a pro-Israeli protester for attempting to raise an Israeli flag. Okay, and so they already send it up. All right, they said that the whole hatred of the so-called Jays as a ploy for whatever they about to start doing very soon. Okay, for whatever they about to start doing very soon is definitely going to be coming up against people's freedom of rights and freedom of speech and so on and so forth. Okay, it's the book of Jeremiah chapter 15 and verse 2. It says, "And it shall come to pass if they say unto thee, whither shall we go forth? Then shalt thou tell them," and that's the times that we're entering into. Okay, people are going to be coming to us. So what do we do? Well, the answer we're going to say is, "Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, such as are for death to death, and such as are for the sword to the sword, and such as are for the famine to the famine, and such as are for the captivity to the captivity." Okay, so whoever you are, wherever your lot falls, that's what you're going to be serving. That's the time you're going to be serving until your Yahushua gets back. So if you're going to be getting cooked, you're going to be getting cooked. If you're going to starve to death, you're going to starve to death. You're going to be arrested and be thrown into the FEMA camps and be tortured, you're going to be arrested and thrown into FEMA camps and be tortured. You're going to go through enhanced interrogation tactics. Right? We're going into that. That's a nice way, fancy way of saying you're going to be tormented. You're going to be tortured. You're going to be screaming, "Jesus Christ and God," and ain't nobody going to be there to save you. All right? So that's what the Lord said to tell. Okay, that's the warning that we've been given to give. Okay? And very soon there'll be no need to be warned because the times that you've been warned about are here. The times you've been warned about are here. So we're going to see what happens tomorrow. All right? Whatever's going to happen tonight into tomorrow. Again, it just takes one thing overnight. We saw it last week. Just one night, bang, all hell just starts breaking loose. The news takes over and it just spirals out of control from there. Okay? So let's see, man. But this is what the scriptures say, and we're going to end it off. Okay? is the book of 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 3. It says, "For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape." Okay? A woman with child, and they shall not escape. All right? So we're in those times, what is known as birth pangs. Okay? Those birth pains, all right? Little by little. But like the scripture says, though it tarry, wait for it. So the waiting game is almost over. All right? But it will come. And it shall surely come. It will not tarry. So that surely, the prophecies that will surely come have come. They're here. It's only going to intensify. All right, that's how prophecies work. It happens, so it's fulfilled, and then it intensifies as time goes on. You see. So anyway, I'm going to leave it off there. Lord willing, you were edified. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha Kodash, the water Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, and keep up the prayers. Okay, keep up with the prayers because we're going to need it. Okay, the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai may be upon you and your household. Shalom.